The two fatty acids given here, linoleic acid and alpha-linolenic acid, are both polyunsaturated. They both have multiple double bonds. However, if one were to look at the end of the fatty acid that does not have the carboxylic acid end, the omega end, and count carbons to where the first double bond occurs, linoleic acid would be an omega-6 fatty acid. The double bond starts on the sixth carbon from the omega end, while alpha-linolenic acid would be an omega-3 fatty acid with the double bond starting on the third carbon from the omega end. Who cares? Well, one reason to care is that from fatty acids are derived a set of local hormones known as eicosanoids. These are hormones which add locally, either affecting the cell which produced them or the neighbors of the cell that produced them. They are called eicosanoids because the Greek word for 20 is eikos, and these are local hormones with 20 carbons derived from fatty acid precursors which have 20 carbons. Given that some of these promote inflammation and thus would potentially worsen asthma or heart disease, some would increase the tendency of blood to clot, while others do the opposite. They oppose inflammation, they are anti-inflammatory, and they have the potential to lower the predisposition to certain diseases. It then becomes important which types of these local hormones are being made, those which would say promote inflammation or oppose inflammation. Linoleic acid, which is an essential fatty acid which must be included in the diet, can serve as a precursor to make arachidonic acid, which also can be found in the diet, especially from sources which contain meat. And arachidonic acid can then be used as the precursor to a number of these local hormones. Many have a pro-inflammatory effect and in excess would cause an increase in the predisposition to diseases such as heart disease and asthma. The essential omega-3 fatty acid, alpha-linolenic acid, this can then be converted into EPA or eicosapentaenoic acid, which is not only vital for brain development, but also it is the precursor to a number of local hormones. Very often they have an anti-inflammatory effect and can lessen disease risk. The body can regulate the quantity of local hormones produced from these precursors, and so it is not certain that changes in dietary intake would necessarily lead to differing levels of signals derived from these precursors. However, it is an area of active research to determine whether a diet richer in omega-6 fatty acids, which would say come more from beef and chicken, would lead to greater predisposition to, say, heart disease than would a diet rich in fish, where omega-3 fatty acids derived from the algae that fish eat are in greater abundance, which would tend to have anti-inflammatory effects.